Now I request Professor Pattanayak to come and give us a close remark. We have another session in 4:30, so sir, please kindly be brief.
Thank you, Neha. And I'm being repeatedly warned that and there is another session, time is off almost. But still, since I'm there, I have to speak. I thank the esteemed participants, panelists who spoke, also Dr. Anwar, then the online speaker, who spoke, Dr. Kumar, and Sheila Tripathi. Especially I thank Dr. Sheila Tripathi for, because he is our savior. As he said, the last sentence, we have so much, we claim, we boast of such a vast maritime trade and overseas contact, but what are the sources? And most important, we are lacking in archaeological sources. Throughout the history, we have literary sources, we have foreign sources, everything is there, but not a single inscription is there to project.
The one who did not.
Anything else? Oh, I see, I'm sorry. So, not a single inscriptional source is there to prove that we did have it. So, with the talk of Dr. Tripathi, we feel relieved that he says that archaeologically we can establish that we did have 100% we can establish. He used the word 100%. Archaeologically 100% we can establish that we did have overseas contact with East and West as well during 1st century BC. So if an archaeologist says that, we have another archaeologist who is an expert on maritime history, Dr. Sunil Pattanayak, and he is also working on many excavations. Durga Devi is his latest excavation that is going on. So if archaeologically we can establish, we say that we have everything. Coming to the ports. Ports in ancient India were mostly natural. And Kalinga was fortunate enough to have 3 very prominent seaports and natural seaports. Probably with royal patronage, some ports might have been dug. But by and large, Kalinga had 3 prominent seaports, and that was the basic reason for which the contribution of Kalinga was maximum to the overseas contact of entire peninsular India. And for that, to me, you can see the picture here, the giraffe in Pattanayak temple. That is the only archaeological evidence. But for this sculptural depiction, probably would have failed to prove that ever we went to Africa. As you know, giraffe is essentially an African animal. Nowhere else you find. These days you find here in Nandankanan everywhere. But giraffe being depicted in Pattanayak in 13th century, that means that somebody from Odisha went to Africa, or some live giraffe was brought to Kalinga. Otherwise, an artist imagining, a sculptor imagining live giraffe, full-fledged giraffe that is depicted here, you can see. It is a depiction from Pattanayak temple, is not possible. So that is the archaeological evidence on which we 100% base. As Dr. Tripathi said, 100% 1st century BC, I say 13th century AD, we can prove that we had contact with the West as well as East. The people of Kalinga, Palur was the only port, I say only port, from which entire peninsular Indian ships were going across the sea. Epiterian, as has been described, Epiterian means crossing the sea directly. As Professor Sarkar said, normally we are going from one place to another along the coast, coasting voyage. Starting from Palur, we are going along the South India, then to Ceylon, Sri Lanka, then to Indonesia, and then further. But we have evidence, and that is foreign evidence. by foreign scholars and say that epiterian or point of departure into the deep sea, the only available route was through Koringan port. And that is why Koringa had a major say in overseas contact. Coming to cultural contacts, the Sadhavas, who were the traders, normally we know in Orissa, the Sadhavas were the traders, but who were the Sadhavas? Sadhavas was a composite group of people belonging to all castes, and that is why colonization comes. Sadhavas normally we believe were traders, Vaishyas. We have four castes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. So we believe that traders were Sadhavas, Vaishyas, but not that. People belonging to all castes were Sadhavas. Because in every trip we needed people from different categories of different walks of life. We needed a Brahmin to start the process for doing the puja, to act as an advisor, to at the time, right from the time of construction of the ship, puja was necessary. The Brahmins were advisors. We needed Kshatriyas to protect the ships from the pirates. And on arrival, if there was a resistance from anywhere else on the different ports, we needed Vaishyas to finance, Sudras to act as manual laborers. Because there was no mechanized ships. There were no mechanized ships. Manual labor was necessary. So, people from all categories of all walks of life formed a group who were called Sadhavas. That is how the cultural dominance was established. The Brahmins, there are different theories, Brahmins who went along the trips started to act as advisors to the local kings there. And from advisors, that is how they entered into administration, then culture, then religion. So that is how, taken together, it was a group effort, a united effort, not by any particular community or caste. And we had a lion's share in this. As I told you in the beginning, Kalinga's geographical presence, because of this, Dr. Tripathi said, he refers to Bay of Bengal as Kalingan Sea. We have proof to that. So we had the dominance, Kalinga Sahasika, and that was there. So that is how the colonization was there. We dominated the scene. But colonization as it is there, it was not sudden or imposed. All the scholars said they accepted it. There was acceptance and gradual. People went there, stayed there longer. Gradually there was migration. As in the inaugural session it was said, the Muslims have not changed their religion but not their culture. So the process was very slow and steady. And as we say, slow and steady wins the race. So gradually we succeeded in establishing our culture there, and that is why Kalinga has a great maritime heritage. Thank you.